everyone, and welcome to the JSE Investment Challenge. My name is Subimboya Arnold, and I'm so excited to be with you today. You know what we're all about as the JSE Investment Challenge. For those of you who know, or for those of you who don't know, it's all about financial educational literacy. It's all about learning more about investments. But the big win is learning more about how the dynamic Johannesburg Stock Exchange works in this day and age. Now, I know to all the students and learners out there that it's a tough time. It's lockdown, it's COVID, but you know what? We can still be with each other and use this time to empower ourselves and to encourage each other to be better investments for your financial future. So I'm not alone because we always need experts in the house. And yes, I'm with you, but also with you is our our expert in the house, and that is Ralph Spears. Ralph Spears, hello and welcome.
Terry, great to be on here today, and thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be online and being able to help as many people out there understand the stock market.
You know what? Let's just take it back to the beginning. Can you tell us what this initiative is all about? Just remind us a bit.
Okay, so basically what we've got is a game for university students and high school learners where they get given R1 million in virtual funds. And what we're trying to do is trying to help them understand how the stock market works, how they can start buying shares from companies that they would go and shop at on a daily basis, that they would go and visit. And so this is a great opportunity for our high school learners to be able to understand how the stock market works. And so that's what we're really trying to do. We're trying to help educate them and understand the dynamics of the stock market. And they're playing in teams at high school level. And this is what we're doing. So we've got 3 different games for the high school competition. We've got the income game, we've got the equity game, and the speculator game. The real difference is in the income game, you're dealing with only the top 40 biggest companies. In the equity game, you're dealing with the top 160 biggest companies. And with the speculator game, you've got all the companies, 350 plus minus companies on the JSE that you can trade. And that really is what the investment challenge is all about, is about trying to help everyone understand the stock market and be able to trade using the R1 million, and I must emphasize, virtual funds. Over to you, Julie.
I hear you, we hear you, and all the learners understand virtual funds. Thank you so much for that. So what game are we specifically going to be explaining, and which winners are we dealing with today, Ralph?
So today we are specifically focusing on the income game as well as the equity game. So those are the 2 winners that we have for the month of April, and we will be dealing with those specific games today.
I am so excited. I hope all you learners at home are excited. Don't forget to register, and don't forget to go to our website. So that's school.jse.co.za. And for those of you for next week, for next month, university.jse.co.za. Just to get your appetites wet, let me tell you that every school annually wins 180,000 Rand worth in prizes. Yes, kids, that's 180,000 Rand worth in prizes annually for our competition. But before we get to that part, let's take a quick break, and then we're going to introduce you to the winning teams for today. I'm back on. You know, this is live television, so I'm just as nervous as our learners who are on standby, but it's okay because this is a platform and environment for all of us to learn and be future fit, because that's what the JSE Investment Challenge is all about. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our teams for today. As far as I know, it is Ethan and John. Am I correct?
Yes, I'm John. I'm from Hoërskool Durbanville. And
Yes.
yeah, what an honor it is being here.
Ethan. Okay, let's go back to you, Jean, for a moment. So tell us a little bit more about, firstly, what is your team name?
Our team name is the Comrades. Is what we like to call our friend group back at school. I haven't really
Yeah.
seen my friends since it's lockdown, which kind of sucks. But yeah, we're just a bunch of good friends, and that's why we call ourselves the Comrades.
That is so awesome. One day, are you fulfilling those shoes and running the comrades?
Yeah.
Awesome. An endurance spirit. I love that. Ethan, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry, my mic was muted over there.
It happens. It's live. It's fine. You know, all in good faith. Welcome and congratulations on winning.
Thank you for having me. I'm in grade 11. I'll be representing the Setters High School.
So, Rolf, could you just quickly explain how these two teams got to where they got to today?
Okay, so basically, on a monthly basis, we go, and we don't go according to the actual normal calendar month. We've got a game calendar month because the game started in the middle of the month. So on a monthly basis, a game calendar month, we go and look at the scoreboard and see which team got the highest return based on the money they used from the start of that month until the end. So that is with the equity and speculator game, where the team with the highest return wins. But in the income game, that is what happens is you need to have the highest income after beating inflation of 5,000. I'm not going to go into the detail, but the bottom line is it's a balance between getting good companies and being able to make a profit from them in share price going up, as well as being able to earn some kind of income through basically sitting in cash, earning some interest, as well as dividends. So we're trying to teach the learners a little bit about compound interest, as well as dividends. And so with the income game, it's a little different to the equity or speculator game.
Incredible insights. You know, these are big words, these are complex words, but what I love about the JSE Innovation Challenge is that it educates everyone, no matter where you are in your investment or financial legacy or aptitude. You know, there's a space and place for everybody. So, guys, so I'm talking to Jean and Ethan. Let's just talk about you before we get into all the cool and exciting investment stuff. So, what do you guys like to do in your spare time? Like, what are your favorite subjects at school? How's lockdown? Have you put on weight like the rest of us because of all the snacking? You know, talk to us. You know, we want to know a little bit more about you guys, just as guys. Let's start with you, Ethan.
I must say I've been enjoying the lockdown actually. I think it's a good time to work on your personal growth and spend time with your family. But the boredom is kicking in a bit now. But yes, in my spare time, I like to trade foreign currencies on the foreign exchange market. And yep, that's about it.
And Ethan, and John, pardon me. Yes, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Besides from investments, what do you like to do in your spare time?
So actually during the lockdown, I've become quite bored. I agree with Ethan on that one. I do feel I've been working hard on my schoolwork. Even though I don't like it, I try to keep up to date. And in my spare time, I pretty much watch TV, read a bit, and then just sleep.
Yeah, we're with you. We're with you.
I love to
Guys,
sleep, yes.
are you with that, Ethan? Eh?
Yes.
If there's anything you'd like to ask each other, do it now. Ethan and John, about the game, about the schools, maybe some sports, maybe, you know.
I will say
anything.
one thing.
You say it. I'm
Our
interested.
schools actually has a rivalry. Now,
Yeah.
Tell us more. Tell us
Interschools.
more.
Yeah, inter schools. So we have this big athletics meetup every year. I think this one was back in February, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's just athletics, and we won this year. So
but we won the cheering cup and the Spirit Cup.
Ralph, isn't it great just to see this competitiveness, even if it comes to sports or even when it comes to investing? Is that a good personality trait? What are good personality traits to become good with your investments?
Yeah, it's this is it brings out the different characteristics when you obviously start trading. The emotions really start showing up, and the competitiveness obviously will kick in if that's who you are. So it's the moment you start actually placing those orders, especially when you eventually go live and actually really trade in the stock market, you're putting money on the line, and the emotions, the fear, in this downturn we've had in the last month or so, that kind of really kicks in. So it's a real test of character when it comes to actually investing in the stock market. And this is a great way to start for anyone wanting to learn about the stock market. Here's virtual platforms that you're going to go test your nerves before you actually do it in the real market.
I love what you just said, that it really is a test of character. And this is the platform where you can develop and enhance those skills for the real world. So, Jean van der Westhuizen, what is your school name so we know and all your Mikeys know?
Hoërskool Durbanville. We're actually an Afrikaans school, so just give me a hand clap for my English skills. And
hand clap for his English. And Ethan, what is your school name, and give them a big shout out?
I'm from the Settlers High School, and representing Settlers.
Shout out to your schoolmates, guys, and I really hope that you encourage them, even during the lockdown, to kind of get involved, and just kind of inspire them, to go on this journey with you. You never know who might you may be able to bring along in this fantastic investment journey of yours. I think, Ralph, let's go back to you. Can you kickstart the questions when it's regarding to teams and their investment when it comes to the JSE Investment Challenge?
Okay, so congratulations to you guys again for the achievement of coming top place in this month's competition. It's a great achievement, and so I'd like to start off with Ethan, just to explain to us the strategy around how you got to the top. I mean, you're looking at around 18% profit in that 1 month that you've now just achieved. So what is it that you actually look for? How do you go about analyzing and choosing your shares?
If you look at choosing our shares, I basically looked at the shares that had the most volatility or volume, how can I say? So obviously we all know in the market or in the stock market, to make money, the market has to move. So you don't want to invest in a share or something that doesn't move or that's sitting in a consolidation period forever. So what I invested in was Harmony, Implats, Cecil, all those kind of companies that are linked to commodities and precious metals, which are also affected by global factors and not just local factors.
That's fantastic. So, I mean, clearly you were in the last 1 month focused on resources, which has seemingly done very well. I must just state out, to all those who are listening to this video, both live as well as should you be watching this as a recording afterwards, do understand that none of this is actually financial advice, that this is purely to do with the investment challenge game, and it's a game only. So please do understand, none of us are giving advice to you, and we ask that you do not go try this out in the real market. So I'd like to then go on to asking John another question there. John, as far as your income game, you guys got somewhere around 26,000 rands worth of income for the month, which is an incredible achievement. How did you go about actually getting that kind of income in such a small space of time? Could you maybe enlighten us there?
Yeah, so although I don't think my team members will be very pleased with me if I share our strategy out in public, but I will say dividend stocks. That's the key. That's the key.
Okay, so I mean, dividend stocks.
Sorry, Ralph. So no sharing of insider trade secrets, huh, Jean, from Team Comrades?
No,
Eh?
no, 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 no.
Lock that up. Lock it up. Ralph, back to you.
Yeah, so thanks, Shubi. I just, seeing as Jean doesn't want to give you any secrets as far as his dividend stocks, I would just like to point out where can you find the dividend paying companies. So if you go and you are registered on our website, which is schools.jse.co.za, you can go under market information and you'll click on, it's called dividend list, and you'll be able to find all the companies that are paying out a dividend in the coming weeks, and you'll be able to select those companies and buy the companies and start getting dividends as well, just like Jean and his team did.
Ethan, let's go to you. Tell us a little bit more about how your team handles strategy. Is there a strategy? Is there one person who strategizes?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Our strategy that we use basically has two parts to it, I would say, or three parts. Our first main part is to protect our capital and then manage our risk. So what I mean by that is, say for instance, if we want to decide to invest into a certain company, we wouldn't invest a full 10%. We would only risk maximum 5% of our account. So you may ask, why don't you invest all your money? Because obviously it's just going to sit in your account. Well, that's where protecting your capital comes in. And then secondly is our fundamental analysis. We basically just use that as a guideline. So we look at news and what affects the stock market. And then our third thing is technical analysis, where we basically study the charts and use a combination of indicators to try and see the direction that the market is going to go.
Ethan and John, I just want to ask you, it really fascinates me that the both of you really sound that you know what you're doing, and you sound at such a young age, and you feel comfortable in this space where most people, the ordinary South African, is nervous and just doesn't feel comfortable with even speaking the word investment. And I'm sure, Ralph, you can agree with me. It's kind of these big words that people feel that are only for a very few special and clever and smart and accessible people. How did the two of you young learners just get inspired or intrigued by the world of investments? And that goes to you, Jean, and that goes to you, Ethan. What did it take? What was it? You can start with
so
you,
basically,
Jean.
Okay.
So I think everyone comes at a point where they're gonna be like, I have to go and make some money or secure my financial future. And I think just personal growth and securing a better future was probably my biggest motivation. I found a lot of interest in personal finance and just learning more about it, talking to people who I thought were doing well financially, and just learning more. I also love reading books about the topic, just learning more, absorbing information. And I think if you keep on doing that, you will eventually get to a point where you can go into the stock market and feel comfortable investing your money. And yeah.
And Ethan, for you, where did it all begin? This love and this interest.
I agree with Sean on wanting to learn about or improve your personal finance. I actually was scrolling on Instagram and I messaged my cousin. I think it was about a year and a half ago, where we were talking about programming, and then we offered me courses on programming, and then he basically also gave me his account, and then I checked on that account. There weren't only programming courses, there were also courses related to stock markets, foreign
Yes.
exchange markets. And
Yes.
I was curious. I was thinking, this word sounds familiar. So I decided to look up more. I looked up on YouTube to get more information about this industry. And the more I looked into it, the more interested I got. So I basically never lost interest to it. And that's how I stuck to it and eventually ended up competing in this competition.
Playing our virtual games, in the words of Ralph Spears. But Ralph, you know what? This JSE Investment Challenge has been going on for over 40 years. Why do you think it's been so successful? And what is actually the core aim of this initiative beyond financial literacy?
Yeah, so as you say, it has been going on for many years, and I just think that there are a lot of people out there that are interested in the stock market that want to learn about the industry, and so we just keep on getting an increase in uptake as far as wanting to join and be part of it, and obviously those that are doing so well, like our winners today. It's word of mouth. So each and every year, the prize winners go out there and talk about their stories of success and achievement, and so therefore a lot of them go on to play each and every single year. You'll have some high school learners that play from grades 8 all the way up to 12, and then also into university level as well. So it's also very important that a lot of people want to see, do I fit in the financial industry? Do I want to maybe pursue a career, become a stockbroker, an asset manager? And so, it's a nice way to learn about the market and get a feel while you're still at high school. But remember that this competition is for just people that are interested in finance. You could be studying to become a doctor, a lawyer. You might have no current interest in the finance field. But this is for everyone, because at the end of the day, hopefully one day you're going to be earning some sort of income, and you would have a little bit maybe on the side that you would want to invest. And so by learning now, you hopefully will have learned the lessons in order to not make mistakes with the real money, or at least a far better chance of not losing money too quickly with your real money. And so therefore, this is a nice way to learn. And we have people that are wanting to learn so that they one day can go and invest, as well as people that are interested in becoming a stockbroker or an asset manager. Louis?
I love the fact, Ralph, that you said it's for everybody, not just our learners and our students who are with us today, but for people who are really interested about their future and want to learn more. And just, Ralph, before we cross over back to our winners, because that's why we're all here today, do you think specifically in these tough economic times that we're going through right now, it's the perfect time to increase your involvement and awareness and education about investments for your future and for your family?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. We don't often have periods like this, or at least they come maybe once every 10, 15 years, where you have such a market drawdown, where you'll find we probably were sitting at around about 30% downturn from February to March. And so this is a historical event that has taken place in the markets. And so for years to come, people will be talking about 2020 and what happened in the stock market. And so I think it's a fabulous, exciting time to be actually looking at the stock market, watching the volatility, watching the prices move up and down, and seeing what's happening to companies. I think it's a great time to be learning. It might be a steep learning curve as far as not a learning curve as far as the stock goes, but a learning experience, because one day your share might be up 5% tomorrow your share might be down 3%. And so, yes, it could be volatile, but at the same time, I think this is great conditions for you to actually just get the learning of the game and the stock market without using your real money.
It's almost time for all of you who are watching with us on our winner show of the JSE Investment Challenge to post and put in your questions or your queries, because this is a Q&A session. But I love the fact that it's all about aspiration and inspiration. Ralph Spears, you put it so beautifully, but this is not about me and Ralph. It's about the learners. So back to Ethan and back to Jean. Are you with us?
Yes.
I've got way too much energy for this platform. Come on, guys, work with me here. Okay, you were talking about books. Ralph, I can see you laughing nicely. Let's talk about books. The books that you love to read about the topic and the subject of investments. Jean, give us your top 2 books about investments and about financial literacy that really got you, really wanting to be better at this.
I actually have the book over here.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so as we come back to Jean, Ethan, what is your favorite book or books that have really made you want to become an expert in the investment space?
If I'm being honest, I'm not too fond of reading. I prefer digital learning, but there is one book that I really like. It's about the topic of entrepreneurship, and I'm sure many of you who are watching this live are familiar with this book. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
So it basically, yep.
Beautiful. We love the financial book. Definitely, we do love that. Jean, show us the book again, please, young man. And it matches my outfits. That's why I like it so much. Okay, we'll come back to Jean again. So, Ralph, will you continue to let's engage with Ethan more about just his winning strategies and his tactics, basically about how he became a winner. Can I pass that over to you, Ralph?
No problem. It's fascinating that the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki inspired Ethan. In fact, I read it back in 2001, and it really got me going as well. That the stock market is a great place to look at actually starting to invest. And so both property and investing was something that obviously Rich Dad talks about. And so it really also inspired me to go out there and learn more about investing. Ethan, maybe you talk about digital learning. Is there any website that you use very often that maybe you want to tell the listeners out there what website, besides the JSE itself, is there any other websites that you use to look for information when you're making decisions?
Decisions based on the trades I take.
Yeah, so either decisions or just information, gathering information about the stock market. Is there anything else that you use? Any other websites, platforms? Do you use Twitter? Do you follow anyone? What kind of digital platforms are you looking to use?
So I look at investing.com and tradingview.com for global events and things that might affect the market.
Yeah, so to the listeners out there, tradingview.com is where a lot of South African stockbrokers, people that are in the market, a lot of experts out there post different ideas about the stock market and about different trades that they are taking, and actually demonstrate and show you what they're doing. So for those of you that are actually watching, that's something that you could maybe consider having a look at, and seeing some of those that have been in the industry for a number of years are actually giving you some little idea as to how they're going about their trading. Toby?
Ethan, and you said you like to read the news, etc., etc. What exactly is the information that really works for you when it comes to your investment and your investment style?
Like I said, I only use news as a guideline to strategy. For example, big news events that will typically affect the market would be unemployment rates,
Yes,
interest rates, all those kind of
yes.
stuff. Yes.
Jean, are you with us?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's go back to your book because it matches my
Yes,
outfit.
yes, yes.
Go back to the book. Yes, tell us more.
Okay.
Educate us, young man.
Yeah, okay. So I think Ethan would have probably heard of the book. So it's called The Intelligent Investor by
Stunning.
Benjamin Graham, with the prefix and appendix written by Warren Buffett. So it's a very good book.
Wow.
I've read it a couple of times now, and it focuses solely on fundamental long-term investing. And
Wow.
Graham essentially explains how his model of investing by searching out stocks, focusing solely on their fundamental aspects, and how he invested into the long term to essentially beat the stock market returns.
Wow. You sound like you're such a guru. I'm very intimidated by these two young males, Ralph. I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm here to learn, and we're all here to learn. And don't forget to please, because our next segment is about the questions that you who are watching really want to ask Ethan or Jean or me or Ralph, definitely our JSE expert. Over to you, Ralph, as we're closing off this segment of the show. Hi, we're back with the JSE Investment Challenge. You know how it is when we're live. You know, it's a teamwork, as it is being part of the winning teams of Ethan and of Jean. Ralph Spears, thank you so much for supporting me today because you are the expert. I couldn't do this without you. I think now, should we go to questions and queries that we have from our platforms, if there are any
Yeah,
coming through?
So how do you join the game is one of the first questions that came up. And, it's very simple. It's going to the website address schools.jsc.co.za. And what you would need to do is you would need to click on the registration button and click register. You would then select your school, and then you would go and type in your team details, and that'll be consisting of 4 members in a team. So in high school, there needs to be 4 in a team, and you will go and fill all the team's information, and then you just click register, and immediately the game will have registered you, and you can go take your login details and register. So that's a simple process of registering, and anyone can go and register that is from a high school from grades 8 to 12. So there was another question here.
Can I interject quickly? For all of
Yeah.
you who are posing those questions, come on, we need some more girl power and women on these teams. So ladies, I know we're smart out there, and I know we like to be the masters of our own income. So jump on board and join the JSE Investment Challenge. I just had to put that in there, guys. Back to you, Rolf.
No problem. I see that Will's asked a question about does it consist of generating income? So this is a virtual trading platform, and so therefore, yes, you can make income through the virtual trading platform, but this is with virtual money. It's not your real money, and this is for high school learners, as well as there is a university competition. So yes, there's 2 ways to make money on the stock market, and maybe I can put that out there. There's 2 ways. One is from the capital growth. So in other words, you buy a share at 10 Rand, it goes to 15 Rand, and you've made 5 Rand profit. And that is obviously besides the brokerage cost and tax, but that is how you make growth or you make money in the stock market. The second way is through dividends. Okay, and that is when a company pays the shareholders who are holding the company's shares a small amount when they have declared it maybe once or twice a year. It's not guaranteed, but they do from time to time pay out a dividend, and you as a shareholder will receive this amount into your account. So those are the only two ways that you can make money in the stock market. For those listeners that are curious and wanting to understand more about the market. I do see another question is, how do you buy...
Sorry, Ralph, before you answer the next question, I just want to involve our winners. Is there anything you want to add to that question, Jean or Ethan? Out of your own
there's nothing from my
experience and
side.
expertise, please be part of the Q&A session because you are the winner. So you're semi-experts. Okay, please be part of the conversation. We don't want to hear from just Ralph. Yes, he is the big guy, but you guys are, you're the movement. You know what I mean? So we really want to hear your insights. All right. Okay, over to you, Ralph, with the next question.
Yeah, no problem. So then the next question is, how do I buy unit trusts via the JSE? So unit trusts are not on the JSE. You do not buy a unit trust via the JSE. So for those of you that are wondering what is unit trusts, really it's basically a group of companies that an asset manager will actually manage. And so therefore, that is not on the JSE, but if you're wanting to look for something similar, you can go and buy what we call exchange traded funds or ETFs. And they're also a basket of shares that follow an index. So that is what we have on the JSE, and you can go and buy these ETFs and actually the participants can actually trade these ETFs even in the game. But the games that our two winners today are playing, the ETFs are not part of that game. They're only part of the speculator competition for high school learners as well as for university students. And in fact, the prizes that Ethan and John have actually are going to receive is in the form of exchange traded funds. So they'll be able to go and invest in the exchange traded fund of their choice with the prize money they will receive, as well as the annual prizes come in the form of exchange traded funds. Over to you, Cindy.
Thank you, Ralph, Jean, and Ethan. Your words on ETFs. What can you say about it? Educate us, young men. Educate us.
Yeah, I think ETFs are extremely good investment. I'm not sure. It's a good fund, exchange rate funds to invest, because especially in South Africa, it's not easy to get global exposure on the money you invest. So you'll find basket shares such as S&P 500 ETFs and NASDAQ ETFs, which will give you global exposure, but you can invest on the JSE to get that global exposure, if you understand what I mean.
I'm so glad you asked me if I understand what you mean. I was just about to say all this jargon, but it's cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. Ethan, your version of the question.
No, definitely I agree 100% with Sean's answer. However, I can add to, for example, just to give a bit of advice to the other competitors out there. Let's say, for example, a global stock such as NASDAQ. There's obviously many companies under there, such as Apple, and I can go on forever. Don't try to think of the stock market as the economy. What I mean by that is, obviously the two do correlate in a certain way, but let's say, for example, the stock price rises by 5% tomorrow morning. That doesn't fundamentally mean that each business will also rise by 5% in value the next day also. So basically what I'm trying to say is the stock market isn't a present visualization of what's happening in the economies. Instead, it's I would rather say it's what investors think is going to happen in the future with economies.
Beautifully said. Absolutely powerful stuff coming from the both of you, John and Ethan. No wonder you're winners. Next question, please, Ralph.
Yeah, so I see there's a question from Mandor that's saying, hello, I'm actually rewriting my exams and don't really have friends to enter. So what can you do? So basically, unfortunately, you need to have at least 4 members in your team, or in fact, it's 4, there's no more. But we could maybe twist it a little bit should you be able to find 3. But the standard is we need to have 4 members in a team. And so I'd like to encourage you to, reach out to your friends and those that you studied with, maybe at a lower grade, or speak to one of the teachers that you are dealing with and maybe ask the teacher to try and assist you in forming a team. It's not too late. I understand we're in lockdown. I understand it's pretty difficult to be able to communicate with all the learners out there. But try and form that team. It's not too late and you'll really enjoy it.
I loved all the questions coming through. You can see that there really is an authentic interest from young people as such to learn to better invest their money and time and potential into the JSE Investment Challenge. Stay with us. We'll be back in a second. Can you believe it's almost the end of our Q&A session? Once again, congratulations to Ethan. Congratulations to Jean for being the winners of this month's JSE Investment Challenge. Ralph, I couldn't have done this without you. In these 45 minutes, I've learned so much. I'm feeling a bit better about myself, being able to step into the world and the realm of investment. I'm inspired by these 2 young gentlemen. I hope to see more young women being winners, to give them a real competitive battle when it comes to the investments. Just to wrap things up beautifully, and especially from the 2 of you, our winners, what is the best thing that you've learned from this game so far? And that's both to Ethan and that's both to you, Jean. What's been the best experience of this virtual game?
As Ralph mentioned at the beginning, I definitely think it is controlling your emotions, especially when you're just day trading stocks. Emotion really plays a big role. You don't know to hold or sell, because obviously there's risk involved with all investments.
Ethan? What has it been the best learning experience about the virtual game?
No, once again, John took the words straight out of my mouth. Definitely, emotions play a very big role, and do not be greedy when you are investing in stocks. Also, something I learned is just if you have a strategy, just let it play out. Enter the trade and stay away from it. Don't still look at it and try to let it. Don't worry about it. Just let it be.
Ralph, could you remind the rest of us on how to register again?
Yeah, so all you need to go do is go to schools.jsc.co.za and go and register. Click on that button at the top right-hand corner and you'll be able to register your team. As I say, it's not too late. We understand lockdown is happening currently. And so, you go out there, find your team members and get started. I'd like to just leave those that are listening to us, just to say that nothing ventured, nothing gained. So,
Yes.
You've got this great opportunity. You're listening to us today. There might be even teachers that are actually watching this live broadcast or recording. You can get in touch with us, schools@jsc.co.za. We would love to connect with the different schools that are wanting to form part of the competition, and it would be a privilege to have all of you on board, and just go out there and get your feet wet. Start learning about the stock market. It's a fascinating world.
Beautifully put. And before we sign off, Ethan, last words, Jean, last words, and please just one last reminder of your favorite book, Ethan, and your favorite book, Jean. last words of inspiration to your fellow learners out there and friends and the rest of South Africa.
What I would like to say is don't think of this lockdown as a negative thing. Rather, see it as a blessing in disguise. You have all of this time in your hands now, so try to learn, even if it's just one thing every single day. Try to learn something and increase your knowledge. Because eventually, at the end of the day, or let's say at the end of this lockdown, every hour that you put in every day will eventually add up to a large amount of knowledge that you gained, and you having been able to do something with that knowledge.
And remind us your favorite book again, Ethan.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
By whom?
Robert Kiyosaki.
Thank you so much. Jean van der Westhuizen, over to you.
Yeah, I think to all the viewers out there, I think in the times of the greatest hardship comes the greatest opportunities. So as Ethan said, don't view the lockdown as a negative thing. Try to use your time as productive as possible. And you mentioned, you said I should say my favorite book again.
Yes.
It's The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. So definitely go pick that up if you're looking to start learning about the stock market and how to invest your money for greater returns. And yeah, just thank you. It's been an honor having me.
Ethan and John, I'm completely blown away just by how cool you guys are, but really how authentic you guys are. And thank you for really sharing your insights and just being so down to earth about it, because, you know, it's a scary territory. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for just being you, and keep that rivalry going between the schools. It's great for competitive characteristic, as Ralph so put it. Ralph, I couldn't have done this without you. I cannot wait to continue this journey with you. Thank you so much for the expertise. And from me to everybody who's watching, let's spread the word about the JSE Investment Challenge. And in the words of Benjamin Franklin, an investment is knowledge, really is the greatest investment you can make for yourself. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and save lives. Bye for now.